Hey, have you ever wondered why the animated series The Simpsons is so often in the spotlight when it comes to predictions about the future? Today, you'll learn about events that will not only make you rethink reality, but also ponder the mystical abilities of the creators of this iconic show. We'll break down the details and find out what they showed that actually happened and what we might expect in 2025. These stories will definitely spark your imagination and send chills down your spine. Ecological boycott. In the episode The Road to Fame, Lisa Simpson is on the verge of triumph with her eco-friendly vehicle, but an eclipse from the DAF blimp robs her car of power and victory. This scene may symbolize a deeper issue: the resistance of powerful corporations to green initiatives. While this episode may just be a fantasy of the show's creators, it makes you think about real issues related to the development of renewable energy. In our world, there are also powerful corporations that can hinder the implementation of eco-friendly technologies. They can do this in various ways: lobby their interests, fund research aimed at discrediting green initiatives, or even directly oppose them. The question arises, will an innovative vehicle capable of revolutionizing the industry overcome the resistance of corporate giants trying to maintain their dominance? We'll find out in 2025. The collapse of society. One of the moments sparked heated discussions among fans of the show. In one episode, there's a moment where Bart Simpson writes on the wall, "I enjoy the collapse of society." This statement can be interpreted in various ways. On one hand, it may reflect the rebellious spirit of the character and his tendency toward antisocial behavior. On the other hand, it may symbolize deeper social processes, such as a crisis of identity, the loss of traditional values, and the rise of individualism. The creator of the show, Matt Groening, is known for his anarchist views. Perhaps he foresaw some global crises or disasters capable of destroying the social order. However, this is just one possible interpretation of this statement. It's possible that it was added to the episode as a joke or as a way to express the character's dissatisfaction with the current state of affairs. Time will tell. Music is a means of manipulating consciousness. The story told in the 2001 episode New Kids on the Block of the animated series The Simpsons still raises concerns among viewers even years after it aired. In this episode, Bart, Milhouse, Nelson, and Ralph form a music group called the Party Posse, which serves as a cover for a secret operation of the U.S. Navy. Their main hit, Drop the Bomb, contains a hidden message, "Join the Navy," encoded in reverse word order. This famous musical piece is intriguing. Although it was originally intended as a comedic situation, it raises serious questions. Modern trends in the music industry, including the use of unusual sound frequencies and auto-tuning, make us think about the potential impact of music on listeners' subconscious. Given the enormous influence of music on our lives, a question arises: is it possible that in the future, the mainstream could subtly control our thoughts and behavior? This question remains open and requires further discussion. Perhaps in the future, we will find an answer to it. In the animated film, The Simpsons movie from 2007, viewers witness a whole series of strange events, many of which can be considered prophecies. A key plot twist in the film stands out, related to a global ecological disaster, which, despite its exaggerated artistic elements, reflects quite plausible scenarios for the future. At the center of the plot is Homer Simpson, who worsens the already critical situation of the polluted lake in Springfield by dumping waste from his pig farm into it. This action triggers a chain of events leading to a massive ecological crisis, resulting in the entire town being trapped under a giant dome. Although the dome scenario itself seems unrealistic, the essence of the disaster sounds like a warning signal for our time. Today, as many have come to realize the reality of climate change and its dangerous consequences caused by human activity, it becomes clear how relevant the theme raised in the film is. Corporate irresponsibility and disregard for nature continue to harm our planet, posing a threat to human life and ecosystems. In 2005, Professor Frank unveiled an amazing car to the public, opening doors to the future for Bart and Lisa. 6 years later, in 2013, Marge decides to leave Homer because of his extravagance. First, he spent the family savings on an underwater dwelling and then on a futuristic flying machine. Homer makes excuses. People sometimes just drift apart. That's all there is to it. However, Bart disagrees. No, Dad, Mom left because you lost all our money on that underwater house. This car, though imperfect, is capable of transporting them through a quantum tunnel. In the 1992 episode, The Itchy and Scratchy Land, the finale predicts events 40 years later. We see grown-up Homer and Bart heading to the movies. And suddenly, a car appears in their path, resembling the one from Star Trek. Flying cars seem to be a common thing. Considering that hovercar development has been underway for a long time, it's likely that such a concept will soon become a reality. Meanwhile, the company Samsung Sky is preparing to launch its first flying cars to the market. Perhaps by 2025, we will be able to bypass traffic jams in cities using these innovative vehicles. Conquering Mars. Many space exploration enthusiasts dream of going to Mars and participating in the creation of a habitable colony there. Although the actual move to the Red Planet hasn't happened yet, one episode of The Simpsons depicts a fantastic scenario where Lisa and Marge go to Mars to establish a settlement. When Marge learns about Lisa's intention to join the Martian mission, she feels disappointment. In the end, the entire Simpson family decides to get involved in the project, hoping to keep Lisa close. The mission's goal is to colonize Mars by 2026. But despite the launch delay, according to the show's plot, Lisa and Marge reach the Red Planet by 2051. However, Lisa expresses her desire to move from Mars to Venus. "This is my life," Lisa says. "If I want to relocate from Mars to Venus, no one can stop me." Elon Musk would probably agree that such interplanetary plans could become a reality in the near future. As far as we know, his corporation is involved in a project to create interstellar ships. Gadget Addiction, the episode Friends and Family from the animated series The Simpsons, raises the issue of the dangers of excessive obsession with virtual reality, anticipating potential problems in 2030. In this episode, the main characters, Homer and Marge, experience VR technology that simulates the taste of food. Homer, being a skeptic, notes that virtual food leaves much to be desired. While it was supposed that such technologies would help reduce the consumption of unhealthy food, real companies like Aerobanquets RMX and Royal Caribbean are starting to use them to enhance customer service. However, the series also highlights the negative aspects, such as accidents caused by pedestrians, distracted by VR headsets, and the loss of real human connections due to being absorbed in virtual worlds. Dependence on gadgets has already become a huge problem, hasn't it? The Era of Holograms. In another futuristic episode, Bart of the Future, Lazy Bart Simpson receives an unexpected invitation for his band to play at a club. The invitation comes in the form of a holographic message, adding an element of technological novelty to the usual communication process. In this episode, Bart looks into his possible future, and although it's far from ideal, one of the curious details is the mail delivery. The mailman brings him a virtual letter created using a hologram. The communication process ends with the unusual phrase, "I'll smell you later," which unexpectedly replaces the usual goodbye. Bart, surprised by this turn of events, remarks, "It's amazing that instead of just saying goodbye, now people say, 'I'll smell your scent later.'" It's worth noting that holographic communication technologies are already being integrated into everyday life. Time will tell if holograms become a part of our normal lives. Robots with artificial intelligence. Robots with artificial intelligence. The widespread adoption of AI robots, long discussed by experts, has found a vivid embodiment in pop culture, particularly in the animated series The Simpsons. In 2012, the show's creators predicted that robots would start to replace human labor, and today this trend is becoming increasingly noticeable. One of the most notable examples is the 1994 episode titled The Land of Chokes and Scratches, where the Simpson family goes to an amusement park completely run by robots. During the plot, the machines malfunction, showcasing both the potential and possible risks of such projects reminiscent of the Wild West. Jürgen Schmidt-Huber, a renowned researcher in the field of artificial intelligence, believes that the development of superintelligent AI could trigger radical technological changes and profound shifts in social structure within the next 30 years. Woman President of the USA. In the 2016 episode, the show's characters hinted at the possibility of Ivanka Trump running in the presidential elections when Homer Simpson wore a button that said Ivanka 2028. Later, in 2017, in an episode dedicated to the first 100 days of her father's presidency, Ivanka took Ruth Bader Ginsburg's place in the Supreme Court. Moreover, she was wearing a robe and earrings from her collection, which can be purchased for $1,000. Expectations that a woman will occupy the U.S. presidency are growing, and by 2025, these hopes could come true, although Hillary Clinton was unable to reach that pinnacle. The chances of having a First Lady in the Oval Office are steadily increasing. In one episode, where viewers briefly found themselves in the future, Lisa Simpson became the first woman president of America. According to The Simpsons, a woman may indeed take on the role of president. And while it's still unclear with Ivanka, the prediction about Kamala Harris's election has already not come true. Donald Trump was re-elected as President of the United States in November 2024 for the fourth year. Donald Trump was re-elected. The episode Bart in the Future, released in 2000, allowed Bart to glimpse his future, and viewers saw Lisa dealing with the financial problems inherited from the Trump administration. So it's quite possible that Ivanka could take the seat after her father. The Simpsons have repeatedly amazed us with their mysterious predictions. Now, let's take a look at which predictions have come true. The tragedy involving the submarine. 2 years before the infamous submarine disaster of the Kursk on March 29, 1998, an episode aired on American television where Homer Simpson joins the naval reserves and unintentionally heads into Russian territorial waters on a submarine. The situation becomes complicated when the crew mistakenly perceives a routine maneuver as preparation for a missile strike, leading to a tense standoff between the US and Russia. Fox became part of Disney. This is one of those predictions that, while not the loudest, still turned out to be true. In the episode of the 10th season titled When You See a Star, which aired on November 8, 2008, The Simpsons unexpectedly predicted Disney's purchase of 21st Century Fox. 21st Century Fox. In December 2017, Disney indeed announced the acquisition of this company for a staggering $52 billion. This merger brought together two of the largest media companies, and Disney acquired the rights to a vast collection of Fox content, including The Simpsons themselves. Video calls and smartwatches. In the episode Lisa's Wedding from the 6th season, which aired on March 19, 1995, the creators of The Simpsons made an interesting prediction about video calls and smartwatches. In this episode, set in the future, Lisa uses a video call to communicate with her family. At that time, such technology was rare, so the scene looked very futuristic. Moreover, Lisa's fiancé wears a device that resembles a watch, which functions as a communication tool, closely resembling modern smartwatches. Now, in our world, with the development of smartphones and apps like Skype and FaceTime, video calls have become a common practice. Smartwatches have also become widespread and turned into a popular accessory that not only tells time, but also tracks fitness, notifies about messages, and even allows making calls. Ebola virus outbreak in the episode Treehouse of Horror 8 from the 9th season, which aired on October 26, 1997, the creators of The Simpsons made a troubling prediction about an Ebola virus outbreak. In one scene, Marge holds a book titled Curious George and the Ebola Virus. At that time, the Ebola virus was not widely known, and the reference to it seemed almost unnoticed. However, years later, in 2014, the world faced a major Ebola outbreak that primarily affected West African countries. This epidemic caused widespread fears due to its high mortality rate and the lack of effective treatment methods. Although the outbreak did not match what was shown in The Simpsons, the mere mention of the Ebola virus in an episode filmed many years before the actual events is quite striking. Tiger attack during a circus performance. This prediction is unlikely to mean much to Russian subscribers of the channel, but for Americans, this episode is quite notable. In the episode Springfield, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love Legalized Gambling. In the 5th season, which aired on December 16, 1993, the creators of The Simpsons predicted the tragedy of the tiger attack involving the famous trainers Siegfried and Roy, whose circus performances in Las Vegas were hugely popular in the 90s and into the early 2000s. In this episode, Montgomery Burns opens a casino in Springfield and invites a German duo of trainers named Gunther and Ernst, clearly inspired by Siegfried and Roy, for performances. During the performance, a white tiger attacks one of the performers. This incident, described in the series, strikingly resembles the real event that occurred on October 3, 2003, during a live show in Las Vegas when a tiger attacked Roy Horn. It seems that the creators of The Simpsons have a special gift for foresight, as many of their predictions have come true. Not all of them are positive. What will come true in 2025 and the following years, we have yet to find out. Friends, I want to make you an interesting offer. You have a unique opportunity to become part of our team. If you have video editing skills, can voice videos in Russian, English, and other languages, or write interesting scripts, we would be happy to work with you. Message our Telegram bot. The link is in the description. That's all for today, everyone. Goodbye.